heard that, whoever's keyboard that was.
Welcome everyone to Toon Talk 2.0 with my fantastic co-host Jake, and today we have one of our favorite guests of always, the well-known, the oracle, the poker guy, the one
Hmm.
and only. What was your name? Oh yeah, Alexander Sakal. Yo, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much, not much. So yeah, that was our guest doing the took his keyboard. So how are you, Jake boy?
Oh, I was mildly confused for a moment because I got the alert that we were live. I use it. I watch it on my phone so I can keep track of the comments. I got the alert, but then I went to the channel and it wasn't showing the video, but it is there, so we're good. I'm tired.
So yeah, that's how life is. When you pass your what are you 63 now?
87,
I knew it, damn man.
at least in
So
here.
tell us, how was Nam? Nam.
Well,
The
you
Charlie
see,
was everywhere.
well for me, Nam was Canada.
Yeah, I don't think we're talking about the same Nam in here.
Oh, is that where you met the tranny? I thought that was more of a Thai thing, but I guess maybe
Please, transsexual, non-binary. This is 2024.
it's not the same thing.
I don't care, bro. I really don't give a fuck.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not worried about offending anyone. I'm just mean factually, they're not the same thing. Or
Please give us a
factually is not the right word. Semantically?
I don't know, bro. Sementally? I don't know. I'm just gonna move on from this subject. It's not for
Oh,
me.
was was that its name? Samantly?
You know that when a baby is premature in Thailand, you know what is how they name him?
Early?
Suddenly.
Oh, well,
Sorry,
if
I read
if
that
one
in
of the
Instagram.
parents is American, his name is Early.
There you go. Look at that. Always putting America in front of you. What
Let's
is
see.
next? Donald Trump telling us that we are the best country in the world?
Listen, I'm not saying everywhere else is a shithole, but everywhere else is kind of a shithole. You're gay.
You're gay. You're gay. You're gay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, that's why they have menus.
So, welcome, Oracle, after our well prepared. The other day was somebody asking me, you guys are improvising everything? I go like, no, we rehearsed the whole week to make a stupid comments.
And
So
then
the
we
only
forget all of it and just wing it.
yeah, because
Right.
we have short memory term.
Fuck, I
Um.
don't even remember what I did an hour ago. Actually, I
Oh
do
yeah,
now.
Alexander. Yeah, that's
What?
fun. It's fun to who Alexander, the guest. To your right.
Uh-huh.
That's the guest, Jake.
I'm aware. What about
You're
it?
you're Jake. I'm Virus.
Wait, who are
He's
you?
your mama.
That explains a lot.
I know.
It's like a
Okay, let's
real
move on.
it's
Hi.
it's like a real Batman Beyond moment right there. Like, well, technically that was Justice League, but when Terry finds out Bruce is his biological father, is he really though? I mean, genetically, yes.
Nerd.
Well, no. Let's. Hey,
Nerd.
hey, Batman Beyond is a sequel.
Nerd.
I'm
Okay,
fair.
yeah. First, let's welcome Alexander to the show. Hi, Alexander. How are you?
Hey, hey guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Um, Good. You know what? It's been a long time. You were in the first season, right? You were one of our first viral shorts. So we gotta thank you for that. We're not gonna give you royalties, fuck you. But thank you for giving us that. Uh, so I'm really happy that you're back here. So today the subject started, Jake, because I went to the movies with Alexander.
Oh,
Now,
oh, so you both had to sit through that. I mean, you both had to you both got to experience that.
the fantastic experience of, and this is hard because when you find something magnificent, you need to express it. So this, we got the chance to live together the worst movie ever.
No. It's not the worst movie, but that's another episode. The worst movie ever.
Well, but sadly, in this moment, and that's what we really realize that it will be great. Today, we're going to talk about all the sequels and remakes in the story of the movies. So, please, the floor is yours, guys, because I already got where I'm going to start, and I'm going to rant about so much that it's going to hurt.
I am going to say something that's kind of controversial today. Not all sequels and remakes are bad. In fact, most of them are at least decent, if not outright good. Now, I know that's controversial to say in the wake of the new Star Wars trilogy, in the wake of the Disney live action remakes, and the movie you're going to talk about. But another thing that's kind of happened, though, is that a lot of people are acting like sequels and remakes are a new thing, and they're not. It's pretty much been the case since at least maybe the 80s, but probably the
Oh, bro,
70s as well.
I got you one from 1939 that became famous in
Well, okay,
2010.
technically, if you okay, so yeah, that's true. All Quiet on the Western Front is the earliest one I can think of, but I know there are more. And
Right.
then you have what I would call a derivative remake, which is not like a direct remake, but it's like, well, for example, one of the movies I'm going to talk about is the 2021 remake of West Side Story, but that movie's a remake of a movie, which is an adaptation of a play, which is technically just a remake of Romeo and Juliet. So, like,
I got a comment of that.
hey, it was Spielberg, man. It wasn't bad. In fact, I'd make the case it was downright good.
Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, you like Kylo Ren, so I'll take
Well,
that opinion with a
well,
grain of
hold a
salt.
second. I never said that I like Kylo Ren. I
Okay,
said that it was the
you like the new Star Wars movies, okay.
well. Everybody knows that Kylo Ren is a good guy in the movie, so of course I like the hero of the movie.
You know, you're not wrong, but that's kind of the problem.
No, but you know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm I saw a comment that says that I'm always interrupting you, Jake.
I
That
disagree.
I disagree too.
I
We
disagree
have a
wholeheartedly.
shut the fuck
You
up.
don't
I'm
interrupt me.
talking. So so to prevent that, I'm trying to be quiet. But get your head out of your ass.
I
Fast
don't
and
wanna.
Furious 1939 was the first time that they did Fast and the Furious. Yes, yes. Fast and the Furious is a remake. And guess what? Yeah, I think it's 1939 or 1949, some shit like that.
It's
Either way,
it's not the remake that surprises me. It's the 1938 part.
well, probably I made a mistake in the year, but it was an old movie. Just put Fast and Furious, and the cover is a motorcycle actually because it was a motorcycle with a sidecar running against cars. Um, that's one. I just wanna that everybody of us throws movies that we think, because I don't think it's been a good sequel in the history of the. And I gotta avoid Marvel. Don't look at me like that. The MCU is
Well,
designed. Wait.
but
Is
oh,
designed just is designed to the sequel is already written within the so it's not a real sequel. When I'm talking about sequel is when you saw Carrie, piece of shit, but then they throw Carrie too. It's even worse, right? Remember
Barry number
Christine?
two.
Remember Christine? The trailer with the face of the Hobgoblin? And then Christine 2? Dude, what the fuck? Anyway, so I want to try not to talk about Marvel. We're gonna get to that, obviously.
Well,
Um,
what I was gonna say, with a few notable exceptions, which even then asterisks. Yeah, you're right. The MCU doesn't count because that's an extended universe. So that's a whole franchise in and of itself. Now it's weird because like franchises are technically sequels, but once they get to a certain size and when they're planned out well in advance, it's almost like an anthology. Well, not an anthology, but well, yeah, an anthology.
you know what sequel I think that it was is good, and I went to bed. I went to bed so nicely at 9:30. yesterday, guys. I went to work out. I was exhausted and put my phone down. And seriously, turn everything off 9:30. And my neighbor decided to drill something at 10:45 p.m. So as a nice guy that I am, I get out of the house and knock on his door like I was a SWAT fucking guy. So he stopped, but he woke me up, right? Then I start watching a movie in this of me trying to find a good sequel, right? And I just two are in my mind. So Logan, I think Logan is a good sequel. The movie Logan itself, for me, is way better than the previous Wolverine things. The one, two, and three Wolverine for me are really bad movies.
Well, are
But
you
Logan is a
talking?
good movie.
So are you? Okay, when you say Wolverine things, though, are you talking the X-Men movies or specifically like the X-Men
The
Origins
Wol-
Wolverine?
the movie Logan is the only one of that saga for me.
I know, but
Right?
which saga? I guess that's what I'm trying to
I'm
clarify.
talking about the Wolverine. The
Okay,
Wolverine.
okay. Well, yeah, that's a factually true statement. Even
And
though,
I'm not putting it together with the MCU because that's Fox. MCU is Disney, guys. So that's what I'm talking. And the other one, and please interrupt me whenever if I'm fucking it up. The only good sequel that I thought is Aliens. Aliens is
Yeah,
better than Alien.
Terminator.
yeah. Terminator is a good example.
Terminator 2 is
It's a
better
good
than
example.
Terminator 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
But
agree.
what do those two movies have in common though?
I'll be back. Guns N' Roses.
No, they're from well, okay, hang on. When was Terminator 2 was 80s or early
90,
90s?
89
92,
and
right?
It's
92.
Okay.
yeah.
89 and 92.
Okay, so
No,
rough
no, no.
it's 80s.
Yeah. Well, the first movie is from '84, and the T2
84?
is
Wow.
from 91. So yeah,
Wow. Oh, yeah, because it was Use Your Illusion 1, and they opened the Use Your Illusion 2 with You Could Be Mine in
but
that
yeah,
fantastic
Terminator.
soundtrack.
Terminator is a great example of a movie where they made the first movie, and based off the success of it, they just they fleshed out the whole, like, more of the story they wanted to tell about how things came to be. So that's a good example of a sequel that's better than the original, which is
But
really rare.
Aliens, yeah, but Aliens did largely the same thing. They took the concept of the first movie, which was really good, but then
And that's
they
not wrong.
but that's what I'm saying. They built upon what they so the first one, and this goes for Terminator 2, they're good movies. But then in the second one, they don't just repeat themselves. I mean, they kind of do because it's in the same universe, but they expand it and do some world building, which makes way for a franchise, which is how they used to do it, you know. But then we got into, thankfully, and I'm not blaming the MCU that it went bad, but really the MCU, while it wasn't the first giant shared universe, it's probably the biggest one, I think. It made those multi-film well, no, maybe Fast and the Furious might
But
be.
what makes a movie good or bad? Because
The
there's
characters, the
there's two
writing,
things. No, no, no.
the
I'm
story.
going there, but no, but what I mean
Oh, I
is
see.
what
That was
actually
rhetorical.
yeah, it was rhetorical. So my point is what makes a movie bad? Our perception of as critics, our perception of fans, or our lack of understanding of the movie industry. Because to be honest with you, I haven't pushed myself to watch Marvels, and everybody knows that they're here. That I know that I watch everything. I haven't pushed myself to watch Marvels because I know it's gonna be bad, right?
And I
It
There's
and I
is
don't
pretty
another
bad.
movie that everybody, Dune too. God no, yeah, I'm pretty
but
sure.
here's the thing.
Well, no, Superbad was a really good movie.
I don't fault you for that though, because a lot of people will say it's like, yeah, but have you even watched it? I'm like, okay, like maybe you got me, but let's look at the track record here. And frankly, part of the film industry is advertising. You got to make me want to pay my money to see this movie.
Yeah,
And the Marvels didn't do
And
that.
and it's not yes, correct, but nowadays it's proved. And it was, I think, the New York Post that last week released that 82% of young adults and adults preferred for the movie to land in your streaming services that go to the movies. That actually the biggest consumers of movies are kids, teens, and let's call it plus adults, right? We're talking about 56 plus. So that's kind of scary because now, um,
It is, but you know what that is, honestly. It's pricing. Because it's no
I think it's
longer
not.
it's no longer financially feasible for the average American to just say, fuck it, I want to go to the movies. I don't really care what's playing, it's cheap enough. Like now you have to like want to go see a movie.
And I'm with you because how much we pay for Disney? Because yes, people, the three of us use the same membership. $3.50 and
Shit, Mickey.
$5. Yeah, fuck you, Mickey. $5 and we all three see the same account, right? We watch the same account. And the other day when I went with Alexander to the movies, obviously he was on another country. I put the phone, we got our own system. We didn't talk to the end of the movie. And I brought my mom. What was my first thing? I say, I just waste $20.
Yeah.
And yes, people, I'm talking about the Ghostbusters, the frozen brain era, I'm gonna call it. Because whoever that wrote that, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, bro. The person that, you know what, I'm not gonna blame you. I'm gonna blame the studio. Because they push you the stars to have just small bits. They push you just to for them to wear. I felt that we were in the 80s trying to create a character just for so we can have the collectible of the character. That's how I felt. I think that putting what is the name of the green disgusting thing?
Slimer.
Slimer.
Ectoplasm. Oh,
There you go. Slimer.
Did you say
He didn't belong
avocate?
in the movie. No, he said ectoplasm. You know the
Oh,
ectoplasm?
I thought you said, I'm like, well, that's
So you were
factually true.
commercial and he was technical. Yeah, it's an avocado, you know? Why they don't call him avocado? That would be fucking awesome.
I literally thought maybe that's what they called him in the Spanish version. I don't know.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, no. No. Avocado. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we decided to make these sequels, but let's put some order in. Just throw the movie, Jake, and we can talk about it.
For the sequel?
Yeah, I
For
mean,
any
what is your
sequel?
option? Any
Well,
sequel. Tell us the original and the sequel.
so like I said, I was going to bring up West Side Story because for those of you who may not know, it's my favorite musical. Um,
Hey, just 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, go
have
ahead.
you seen it?
No.
Yeah, see, okay, that's what I thought. What did I just say? Yeah, but I mean, it's
Thing
free.
is, I broke my ties and my ribbon and my beret, so I don't want to see that freaking movie. You
It's a great movie,
yes.
both of them. I felt though, I see there are a lot of, but maybe you can correct me here if I'm wrong, but to me it seems that especially today, which is kind of ironic, there's a lot of film purists out there, and if they remake anything, it's just garbage. Well, let's review. So the first West Side Story was from the 60s. Like they literally, and I'm not a guy, I'm not a guy who
You're
is
not a
super,
guy. Obviously, you like West Side Story. Keep going.
bitch, please. Anyway, I'm not a guy I'm not overly concerned with racial casting unless the character calls for it. West Side Story is a story that kind of calls for it because you literally have a division of Puerto Rican characters and like Anglo-Italian American, but that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like Italian American characters. There was one Puerto Rican actor period in the original West Side Story, and they browned her up, which may have been allegedly it was because of the camera and lighting, but they browned it. I don't know. Anyway, I think they probably
Who's
bronzed
that?
everybody up
Who's
so
the
much.
actress?
Rita Moreno.
Oh well, I knew that you're gonna talk about that. You gotta understand that Rita Moreno is an icon of the Latino culture as the successful life in America.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So I think that yeah, they put a little more. I read that article, but it was
Because
just the lighting.
I think well, it was the lighting, and I think it was also the fact that they brown faced everyone, which again, it was the 60s, it was a different time. But to me, I was quite excited to see an updated version of it because everything about that film is justifiably dated. Again, it was the 60s. You know,
And Rita Moreno is in the sequel. I mean, this
she
remake.
is, yeah,
I
she
like that. Yeah.
plays. Well, and again, so they did this right too, which again, it's Steven Spielberg. So there's very little, and anything that I did find wrong with the movie is like a nitpick or a personal preference. Because, like,
Okay, I love Steven Spielberg, but that one and the Feeblestone or whatever. What is the name of his life? What is the name of the movie
The
about his?
Fablemans. The Fablemans. No, that's really good, man. What are you
It
talking about?
sucked. I fall
Didn't suck
asleep 2 times.
at all. It's
Yeah, it
really good.
sucked really bad. No, okay.
maybe
I
you should have
liked it.
taken a nap beforehand.
It's fine. Do you like? Oh well, you're Jewish. Get the fuck out of here. I know why you like the movie.
It's
Okay,
really
so
good.
anyway, um, technology's improved a lot. The movie looks amazing. They're able to do a lot more dynamic camera work, which means the dance numbers are even more cool to look at. I thought the number for
You
I
think
think
I
it was
should wear
American.
this to watch that musical, or I can just wear a T-shirt like
If
a
you want
man?
to. Well, no, if you wear
Urgh.
just a white t-shirt, you can be like one of the Jets.
Oh my dear God, what are you gonna talk about? Now you're gonna tell me that Grease 2 is a good movie.
No, Grease and Grease 2 are dumpster fire pieces of shit. But anyway.
Thank you.
Not Grease too. I mean,
What you like Grease 2, fan?
no, I don't. I don't.
Grease.
I like the lead actress. I found her one of the most charismatic, elegant actresses until today.
That's Michelle Pfeiffer, dude.
No. The second part is played by Jules Hughes. She's a dancer and a singer. She sing with Diego, remember Boneta in
Right.
Rock of Ages?
Yeah, yeah. But what are you talking? Are you talking about Grease too?
Grease 2. She did Grease 2.
No, that's Michelle Pfeiffer. That's from like 1980 or something like that.
Oh fuck, is that Grease 3? No!
Were you
Give me a
masturbating to the
second.
wrong movie?
I will I will not do that anymore. Come on.
Oh, well, not now.
Yeah,
Now
we
that
have
the
smoked
bubble's been
shorts.
burst. But
So
anyway, so a
I
lot.
don't have my other phone here, but keep going.
So, but the point I was making is there were a lot of film purists out there who just felt that it will never live up to the original. And I mean, I like both movies for different reasons, and there were some small changes. Like I prefer certain performances from the first one versus like I really didn't like the fact that Rita Moreno's character, Doc's wife, sings "Someday" as opposed to it's supposed to be a duet with Tony and Maria, and it's a much more powerful number in the first movie and on the stage play. I'm not really sure why they gave the song to
Because
Doc.
Rita Moreno is an icon, and probably she required that to be in the movie.
And you know what, maybe, but I guess my point is it wasn't a big enough deal to ruin the movie for me. It wasn't. Um,
I see.
what they could have done though, and this was kind of my idea when I was in the theater, I'm like, well, if they had to give her when I saw it the second time, I was like, well, if they had to give her a number, it might have been fun to have her.
When you saw it the second time,
Oh, I saw it 3 times in the theater.
do you want me to send you the number of the transsexual that you want me to? We can
Nah,
go together to
it's
the
cool,
movie
man.
theater.
I don't want your seconds. Um,
What are you talking about? I'm a saint. I barely go out of my house. I just go out to the gym.
listen, I
That's it.
don't care what she calls you in the bedroom. That's none of my business.
You're an ass. Come
Learn
on,
from
I
the
got a
best.
reputation. So just tell me who
That
made
you do.
the music for the new version, for the new musical?
Ah, damn it! I know this too.
Yeah, it's the same guy from Hamilton.
Yeah, it's Lin Manuel Miranda, right?
Is it
I hate
seriously?
Lin Marie Miranda.
Okay,
Let's
no,
do that again. Let's do
hang
that
on.
again. Let's do that again. Say that name, Alexander, please.
I think it's Lin Manuel Miranda.
I hate Lin Marie Miranda. I
No, okay,
hate him to the core.
I've got a
I
problem
don't
with
like
that.
his art. I don't like his hip hop. I hate that everything rhymes. Yes, I
No, no,
hate
no,
him.
no. You can't give Lin-Manuel Miranda credit for West Side Story. They just rearranged all the original music. There were no
Can you
additional
read
numbers.
IMDb? I'm pretty sure his name is involved, and that's what
Well,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure I
that's
didn't want
good
to
for
watch it.
him, but when the music's already
I'm
written
pretty
for
sure that
you,
that's what I didn't want to watch it because I thought they were gonna be hip hop like Hamilton.
no, it's all the original. It's all the original songs
All
from
right.
1961, but
You got me in this, Lin-Manuel
I
Miranda.
don't know how they can give him credit for that though, because again, the music already existed. I guess he rearranged it.
Maybe I'm mistaken. Suddenly, I don't know about Grease 2 or uh, West Side Story. That's fine. Do you? It was. How was the box office for West Side Story?
It underperformed, but you got to remember this was also during the tail end of the pandemic. But this is when some
Yeah, I
people
remember
were
it
still
was the first
it
thing.
was
Yeah.
it was delayed a year because of COVID, and
You know
thankfully
what? It
because
didn't work because nobody
what
called it WSS. It was too old to be called WSS.
the
Because
sad thing is
probably
I know
50% of the people will never go and see what is WSS. Anyway,
you know what? Okay, no, it wasn't Lin-Manuel Miranda. Um,
who you what? What name you just said?
David Newman and Gustavo
Okay.
Dudamel,
Okay. Duramel.
and John Williams served as a music consultant, but he was unavailable because he was Spielberg's first choice.
Yeah, of course. He's like, buddy, I got another movie. Ah, sure, but I can't do it. I give you
Okay,
credit.
okay, I was gonna say no. Lin-Manuel Miranda's dirty, dirty hands were nowhere near that score.
Lin Manuel Miranda.
For one thing, nobody rapped, which makes sense because it's set in the 50s. But
To be honest with you, for a reason I thought that he was involved, and that's one of the reasons I didn't want to watch it. Probably now I just don't want to watch it for the musical reasons, but not,
but the
I
music's
might.
really good.
Yeah. Madonna is a good singer too. Keep going. Let's move to the next subject.
I'm just saying, as someone who loves both movies, I kept telling everyone, see the new one. It's really good. It actually, I was a fan of Rachel Zegler until she started talking more. And actually, what's the guy's name? The guy who plays Tony? I can never. It's Ansel something.
Ansel Elgort.
Oh,
Yeah, I was not a fan of his at all until I saw West Side Story, and then I learned that he did two numbers live, which obviously they did multiple takes, but still impressive. I know that he sang Maria live on the soundstage, which it's not a particularly difficult song to sing, but it's still like if you can't sing and try to sing that song, it's
do you
not going to
think? Do
work.
you think it's not a hard song? Can you give us a little performance of that song? Come
No,
on.
no. I
Oh,
mean, it's not
try.
a difficult song for
I try.
somebody who
People,
can
if you
sing.
put in the comments, make Jake try to sing. I will love it. You put
Well,
in the comments.
actually, you know what? I take that back. It it might be somewhat challenging to sing now that I think about it because you're basically saying Maria a lot with a few other words, but you're changing your vocal intonations constantly. So yeah, actually I take that back. It is a fairly challenging song to sing.
Every musical is really challenging to perform. Every musical. What bring me to something that I'm gonna go to another place. Mandy Patinkin was live here in Portland. Like it was it was a thing. I actually wasn't there. My sister was there, but I saw a couple of videos and it was like, holy shit, man! It's that guy knows how to can sing. I don't know if you. Hopefully, we can make a short about this because there's a short film of him in a night show. Like he's not prepared. He's on a t-shirt. It's the 80s. He stands up and sings somewhere over the rainbow to the perfection, bro. Just him. And anyway, hi, Mandy Patinkin. Mandy Patinkin. My mom is gonna start. Our moms and our family, all people gonna start walking to the podcast. Patinkin. Whoever that is not a fan of How I Met Your Mother, season 8, you will understand my joke. Let's keep
Is that
going.
Mandy
So,
Patinkin?
Patinkin. So the you know what? sequel is good now that I'm thinking. Are you guys ready? Rocky 2.
Fair.
Really?
Rocky 3.
Also fair.
Wait. It gets better. Wait for it. Rocky 4.
There you
Oh,
Okay,
go.
you gotta
okay,
That,
love
okay.
Ivan
Hot
Dragon.
hot take.
Ivan Dragon.
that's
Let's stop
that's the
there.
best
Let's
one.
stop there.
It's not though. Here's okay. So don't get me wrong. Everybody loves Rocky 4, but if you really examine the movie, it's probably the worst one from a story perspective.
Oh, know what are you talking about? We
No.
got
Hear me out.
Russia.
Hear me out.
Okay, okay, okay,
Hear
okay.
me out. Okay, so the first one, it's great. Story makes sense. Apollo
It's the
Creed
worst for
wants.
me, but it's good. Yeah.
Really? What about Rocky 5?
Oh yeah, no, I was talking from the 1 to the 4. Of after that, nothing exists.
Okay,
I've
no,
loved it.
that's the hot take. Hot take. I love Rocky 5.
It's
Okay,
not that.
thank you, everyone. It was a good moment, a year and a half working with Jake. I can't do this anymore. He
Hold
likes
on.
Rocky 5, and he doesn't like Kylo Ren.
Hold on. I will explain myself because this required a lot of thought on my part. So, but anyway,
Okay.
first Rocky, once again, great movie, sets everything up. Rocky 2 is the logical extension of the first one because the
It
champ,
could be together.
yeah,
It
even
could
though
be
the
a
champ
togetherness.
won, some nobody from the streets made him go the distance. So of course he wants a rematch, and then Rocky has to deal with the fact like, oh, maybe I can, maybe I can't. I don't know.
But don't
Maybe I.
fucking start messing with a slide because I will fly right now to
I'm
Indiana
not
and smack you in the face.
pure pure respect.
Don't
I
talk like that
respect
about my
everybody,
father-in-law.
even
Yes,
Spider
Sly,
Rico.
I respect you, but I really like your daughters. Keep going.
Oh man, mad respect to Sylvester Stallone. But anyway,
Mad respect. Anyway,
Rocky 3 makes sense because now Rocky's the champ and it goes to his head a bit. Then he gets the shit kicked out of him. And now he's like, I can't do it no more, Mick. I can't do it no more. He got me, Mick. And then Apollo goes, Rocky, stop this bullshit. And then makes him run on the beach and shit.
he went like, no, please.
So anyway, then we come to Rocky 4.
Wait. Can you say it again? Sorry, Rocky 4. Keep going.
I don't, what was this?
Number 1, 5,
Oh,
Rocky
Rocky 4, a
4.
Roman numeral. Okay,
The
gotcha.
beginning of the movie actually starts.
Okay, so need I remind you about the exploding gloves? So we're already off to a questionable start. But
Anyway,
anyway,
keep going.
like don't get me wrong. I love Rocky 4 is the popcorn movie of the Rocky franchise. It is pure over the top 80s just
Ivan
nonsense.
Drago is one of the best villains in the movie history, bro.
No, he's not because what is his motivation? He's just Russian.
No. Wait. His motivation is if I don't obey my wife, she's gonna be mad at me. That's a true motivation. That
Which
woman was a nightmare.
they did more with that story element in 2 minutes of Creed 2 than they did in the whole entire movie of Rocky 4.
I really like Rocky 4, bro.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying if you look at only the script and the overall story, it's probably
I
the
really
poorest Rocky
want to
movie.
take my shirt off and put some gloves right now because I just think about Apollo, getting all crazy before he gets killed.
Okay, but here's the
Apollo
problem.
dies.
I know, and it shouldn't have happened because
Of course not,
referees.
but we wouldn't have Creed.
Okay, I agree that they salvaged it, but here's my
Okay,
case. Like
okay.
again, I love Rocky 4, but it's the most over the top of all of them. And if you really think about it for more than a few minutes, none of the story really makes all that much sense. Like I understand you would want like Rocky would want revenge, but like Apollo wouldn't. It's very unlikely. It's just too much. But then you go to Rocky 5, and that story, and Rocky Balboa to a certain extent, those stories make sense. Now, Rocky Balboa is a little far fetched because he's a little old. However, one of the best parts of Rocky Balboa is when he's there with his trainer and he's like, "You got arthritis in your knees, so you can't lift weights." You can't run. You know, he's going through all the and Rocky's just like, yeah, it's true. And then he's like, so you're just gonna have to hit him really hard. And I'm like, oh damn, I'm glad we got the A team for this.
So remind me, Rocky 5 is when he gets poor, she dies, and he gets depressed, the son is in college, and then he
No,
train a kid from the street that betrays him, correct?
Yeah, but she
no,
doesn't
no,
die
no, no,
though.
no, no. You're merging Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just so Rocky Balboa is when she dies. Rocky 5 is when she picked this stupid kid from the streets and he betrays him and then they fight in the streets, correct?
Tommy
Yeah, which
Gunn. Yeah.
which I think is that's the most underrated Rocky fight ever. I'm not saying it's the best, but at least it was new. You know what I mean? At least it was
It
new
was
and
different.
fresh. Yeah, and I
Probably that's
liked
what
it.
I didn't like it. I mean, and you know, I hate that speech that the dad says to the kid that become viral. You
I
know, that
love that
little.
speech.
Yeah, I loved it in the movie. I hated that everybody's putting it there with their comments, but it's okay.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. It works way better actually in the movie than
Yeah,
saying
of
it.
course, it's out of context but anyway, okay, I'm gonna say that I will respect your opinion. Maybe it's not the most the better written movie, Rocky 4.
Oh yeah,
But
but in
dude,
terms of fun,
let me
oh, it's
just
the best.
close your eyes. Just close your eyes for a second. Moscow, December 24. The crowd that loves Drago starts saying, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. Dude, that's epic. You can tell me whatever you want. That's epic. And I know it's just the same of the same, but we gotta give it to Sly, man. Nobody believed in the guy, and the first movie is dramatic. He won an Academy Award of the drama of the script. It's the way of the Italian going to succeed, and he fails. But then he reinvented himself and created a way to make movies for two generations, bro. And you gotta give that to him because that's not as easy as it sounds.
No, not at all.
So, okay, for me, even Rocky Balboa is not bad. It just needed to be good to be like that. And then Creed took me back. Every movie of
Yeah,
Creed took me back to that thing that Sly created. So now it's just four
I
generations of
I did.
manipulating us with.
Well, nostalgia can be a very um useful and also reciprocal tool because let's be
Yeah,
honest. Like I'll use the example of Top Gun Maverick. Like we all went for the nostalgia, but we stayed for the awesome movie that we saw unfold in front of us.
I will send you dinner maybe one day because I never send you anything. But if you tell me where Top Gun was inspired, any one of you, what was the inspiration of Top Gun?
Shit, I know this. It was a magazine
It's
article,
an
but I
old
cannot
movie. No, no, no.
no,
It's an
no,
old
I
movie
nope,
that
it was a
actually
magazine
was.
article.
I'm gonna give you clues. Clues. The original movie was Silence, but when it was released, is when the movies start coming out with sound, and the director reshoot many things and add the audio. Yeah, yeah. I read the article, not Maverick, the original first Top Gun. I
Yeah.
read an article that says that the guy was a fan of Hell's Angels
No, no, no,
by
no.
Howard Hughes,
No, it was
by Howard
inspired
Hughes,
by no, it
and
was
no, and
inspired by a
then
magazine article about the school.
no, 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 wait. He was a fan of Hell's Angels, so he pushed himself to make a movie about airplanes and fights, but in the way that the movie, because remember that the first Top Gun is in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
The world was a little different than 1936, right? So
Well,
that was
yeah.
his inspiration. It wasn't an adaptation, it was an inspiration. Because the
Oh,
first
okay. Well,
huge movie that was released was Hell's Angels. Remember, guys, the Hell's Angels from Howard Hughes? Come on. You don't know who Howard Hughes is.
I know
I
who Howard
remember
Hughes is.
hearing about it from the Aviator movie, the
Yeah,
the Martin Scorsese movie.
what a great movie. What a great movie. The Aviator is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
It is very good. But the point I was making is that, and Cobra Kai did the same thing, is you took, so for the first key ingredient to success with a sequel or a remake, or rather, as I would say, like a continuation after a long break, is first of all, the project has to be spearheaded by fans, and they have to be allowed to do it the way they want to do it. Like they need to be given their vision if they're good fans. Because, like, perfect example, Cobra Kai. On paper, the concept is so dumb. Like, it's the karate. Hang on, I'll get there. It's like, on paper, the concept is so stupid. It's like the Karate Kid, but 30 years later.
It sounds
But
fucking amazing.
well, okay. So actually, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. When I saw the trailer, the first teaser for Cobra Kai, I like the first thought I had. I said, "This is gonna either be fucking awesome or it's gonna be the worst thing ever." And it turned out to be fucking awesome. But it's because the creators of the show were huge fans of the original and they respected it, and they just want to add to it. They don't want to replace it. They don't want to rewrite history. They want to add to this thing that they love. And Top Gun Maverick did the same thing. They didn't infantilize or emasculate Maverick to make way for a strong female character, even though there was a strong female character. They just didn't shoehorn her in. She fit within the narrative. And it all made sense, and nobody got their fucking dick tripped over. And, well, except everybody who tried to say that Maverick doesn't have it anymore.
So let me ask you something. Because we haven't been able to play Virus Quest, I'm just gonna throw questions to you here and there for the whole show. How that sound? Sounds good?
To who?
Sounds good? To the both of you.
Oh, okay.
I got Jake, my co-host, and the Oracle. So, Virus Quest. This movie was a remake, a sequel, not a remake, a sequel, and they show a strong female character. Wait, as a lead.
It's
However,
aliens.
fuck you. I was talking about Vasquez. You didn't even let me go to Vasquez. Fuck you. Point for Jake. King.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
I
that's just
hate
like
you.
the
We spent
go-to.
too much time together. Keep going, keep going.
Oh,
So anyway, so how the fuck you got that? I just say lead
because
character.
that is the literally the go-to example of, so okay. The discourse on the internet for the past couple of years have been, oh, because Jennifer Lawrence is the first ever female action hero. But anyway, so the whole discourse has been that men like us and Virus's boyfriend
Well, like
don't.
Alexander and me because you like musicals, but keep going.
Hey, I will jazz finger
I love
slap
music.
you next time I
You
see
know
you.
what?
Anyway,
I actually love the jazz hands. Let's do a jazz hands for the fans. Yeah.
Dude, I love musicals, man.
yeah,
You
musicals
know
are
what
great. But
musical I
anyway,
like? Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. Who. Keep going.
it's good. But anyway, so the discourse has been like men don't like strong female characters, when it's like, no, we just like well written characters. We really don't give a shit if they're male or female. But the go to example that basically everybody over the age of 25 always points to when you're having that argument is Aliens, because it's like, no, I mean Ripley,
Yeah,
like ah, it's right there. And then Sarah Connor and
right.
Jamie Lee Curtis in virtually any movie she's in that's not a comedy, and even then, it's kind of like, I mean, she's still kind of in charge.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're thinking about either if you're thinking about whether your main character is a man or a woman, that really has no bearing on the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Very
as long
rarely.
as
Yeah.
it's well written, like if you have a good script and you have your characters well fleshed out with their own personalities, it doesn't really matter what gender they are.
Well,
You know?
some on very rare instances, because I don't know. Have you seen the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, yeah. It's about the beaten the husband beats her and
Yeah.
she has to get
So
away.
yeah, that's one of the rare exceptions where the main character kind of has to be a woman for the story to work. But you're right. In
Right.
very rare instances, is the gender really important?
But now that we're talking about Cobra Kai, because I really enjoyed like the first season of the show, but then they started doing this like we're talking about the daughter, right? I don't remember her name
Oh
right now.
yeah,
Sam.
Sam,
Vichy.
right?
I'm gonna call
Like
him
when she's
Vichy.
she's, she's at first she's like struggling to learn, and she's like training to be better, and you can really relate to the character, and you can really believe it. You buy this that she's the daughter of this former champion, and like she doesn't really connect with her legacy until now, right? But then as the series progressed, like she started doing things like like they don't really make sense, like she's
Well,
beating
because she's
everybody
a
up.
teenager.
I was
I
just gonna
understand what you're
say
saying
you're
because
right, but in my head, it's because they're dumb teenagers. Which it's not just her, although she does some very stupid things, but they all do stupid shit. And the other thing, if I do nitpick Cobra Kai, which don't get me wrong, it works because it's Cobra Kai. It's kind of silly on its face. Is two things. First of all these kids get black belts really fast. And
Yeah,
two, they're either all weaklings or they're all indestructible
yeah,
because
right.
nobody
yeah, people
progress.
are people are taking headshots like left, right, and center, and nobody ever has
Right.
a broken nobody has broken bones except for one
And
arm
what
break,
I
which is
like,
actually a submission, and
Yeah.
Miguel getting
what
paralyzed because he fell 2 stories.
the first
Yeah.
season is actually really good
It is.
because he gets paralyzed. First of all, we give the recognition to Johnny, right?
I love
Because
Johnny. Like he's the
he's the
whole
real
show.
Karate Kid. We all know that.
He's the
But
whole show.
let me go back to How I Met Your Mother because this is real. The next time that we saw together Johnny and Ralph Macchio, because we hate Ralph Macchio, right? We don't, but that's how Barney said. It was in the show, and it's at the event in the eighth season when it's the Barney. What was the party? The bachelor party. So that show has so much rating that it was used for them to pitch it to Netflix. The
Right.
numbers that they did, because people wanted to watch Raj Macchio get beaten by Johnny. The whole first season where they don't are not friends and they have this tension and it's really good. Then, as always happened, as a writer, you have the hope that you're gonna have a sequel or a second season or an extra paycheck, but you don't write because of that till the time is come because you need to put the best. And I think that they put the best in the first season. Season two is a resolution unnecessary. Season three is a remake of the remake already used. Season four is exactly the same. They're just changing the deep characters, and that's TV. That's TV. But in a general thing, what they're doing now for the new Karate Kid, I think that is really innovating. I'm gonna share it with the fans and with you guys. What they're doing is that the new Mr. Miyagi is gonna be Jackie Chan. That it was good because hold on a second, because it was the second of Mr. Miyagi in the version that they did with China with the Kung Fu Kid. Yeah, and Ralph Macchio's there, but what they're doing is they're asking the fans to send a video of them doing karate, or if I say karate, the tiger, the bear. Anyway,
The
a
bear.
karate, the bear,
The
the tiger,
bear.
the eagle. Tell
Brr.
me from that movie. I do karate. Tell me what movie is this? Tyrus Quest. I do karate. Oh, I can take everyone. Oh, Glock. Yeah. Tell me what movie is that? Two kids walking and talking about that. I don't do karate. I do karate. I do the tiger. I do the bear. Come on, but come on, people. You guys know. I know that you guys know. Level 10,000 of harness.
I don't know that.
Okay, you passed. Do you know Alexander? Yes or no?
I have a vague memory of it, but I just can't put my finger on it right now.
Keanu Reeves hardball after the first training. The two kids are working and say, "I can take those. I do karate." That is amazing. So sorry, point for Virus Quest. Let's keep going. You know that you're not allowed to smoke online, right? Or drink. We all do whatever we want.
They're
I'm just
just
kidding. We can do whatever we want.
they're just censoring everything these days.
We haven't been censored, not even once.
No.
So anyway, let's talk about another sequel that is in my mind, or remake.
Yeah.
There was a movie, and I'm gonna go deep into the core of the nerdness on me. Like you're talking your feminine size that I applauded, talking about Jennifer Lopez and musicals. Congratulations, Jake. I'm gonna talk about my nerdness inside.
Oh, so you're
I
gonna
think it
talk about
was
Star Wars?
1980. No. Not even nerdist. 1982, probably 85. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know. They released a movie about Dungeons and Dragons. It was a TV movie where the lead character was Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie. This movie, the premises is that this guy's in college, play dungeons to the point that he start getting confused and he goes crazy and he thinks reality is Dungeons and Dragons and he finished killing himself.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
that movie is a really good movie that actually hurt TSR, that was the owner of Dungeons and Dragons, to the point that it was a lot of families and schools that they were trying to block the game. I'm correct? But then they decide to make a remake of that movie, and then we have the first Dungeons and Dragons piece of shit movie. Remember Jeremy Irons, 20 years after?
Yeah.
Really bad. Really bad. Because many people don't know this, but the characters of the movie with Jeremy Irons, the characters are the characters of the movie that Tom Hanks was imagining when they play the
Oh,
role. So when they
I
play
didn't
the
know
role
that.
game. No, of course not. I just made it up. I'm a great writer. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm good, right? I'm good, right? I
Oh,
got you both.
that's why.
No, but no, they carry the brand. Yeah, I just made it up. I'm just kidding. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Virus Quest. The bullshit of the story. You gotta to admit it was. You know what? That's a new sequel for Virus Quest. I'm gonna say a bullshit story like that, and you guys gonna say if it's real or not. But anyway, so my continuous point is every time that they want to make a Dungeons and Dragons movie, it gets worse and worse. The new version of the Dungeons and Dragons, I didn't dislike it, but Alexander hated it. Did you
Yeah,
watch it, Jake?
actually, I walked out of the movie theater from that. I couldn't stand it.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, it's
go
like
ahead.
yeah, like they just want to advance the story to a certain point where things don't make sense, you know, like like things just happen out of nowhere, you know, just for the characters to get somewhere or to do something, you know. I
Oh, so
just
you
I
I'm
mean
think that's
gonna,
frustrating.
the story happens to the characters?
yeah.
Yeah, like in this the new one, the Honor Among Thieves. Is that the name of the movie?
Mhm.
Like Michelle Rodriguez, which I really like as an actress, but she just goes to her ex's house and she just picks up some staff or something like that, and then the staff ends up like working for them for some, I don't know, reason. It's like important for the plot, you know. Like
Yeah.
they just
Well,
have to put it in there.
as the critical drinker would say, "Wow, that was lucky."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which
It's a
actually,
good
oh,
thing we
sorry,
got
I
that,
jumped.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
How
sequels,
many Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of sequels and the critical drinker, would shout out to the critical drinker. If you're on YouTube and you're not watching Critical Drinker, do yourself a favor, check him out. He's hilarious. My favorite review of his, which actually made me a fan, was his review of Wonder Woman 1984. Oh my God. It is so damn funny because A, he's right, but like the movie is so bad, he's like, okay, I'm gonna do a terrible impression of him, but it's funny. He does everything. He's from Scotland, but he does everything in a very, very thick, inebriated Scottish accent. But he's like, so Diana and her and her fucking like body snatcher boyfriend go to follow everyone, and they wind up in Egypt, even though they have no idea where they went. Wow! And then they run into him on the road. Wow, that was lucky. and he
Right.
refers and he refers to the wishing stone as the dildo stone, which that made me laugh hilarious. That made me laugh so hard because I when I watched this movie on HBO Max, I that was the first thought I had. I was like, it looks like a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And
It
he's
does.
like, and he
But
referred to
then
it as the
because
dildo stone.
What is the actor that actually plays and take the power of the dildo stone?
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
You see, it's a dick. You see, it makes sense. I like the movie now.
So what you're
Sorry,
saying is
I'm
Pedro
against Pedro
Pascal
Pascal.
he took a dick in that movie,
Yeah.
or at least a synthetic one.
Well, as far as I know, he's been taking dicks from 17 years old. But let's not talk about that right now because
Really?
everyone is. Oh yeah, Pedro
Oh
Pascal's
no,
gay.
we're going into this.
Oh well, I just got a gossip from somebody in the business that
So
I
you heard it
mean
from a
again,
friend who heard it from a friend too.
yeah. No. I heard from an ex-person of his team. Anyway, I don't
Hmm.
care about that. You know how I believe?
Not that there's
I
anything
really
wrong with that.
think, and that's not that there's anything wrong with that. I like the way he acts. I think he's extremely talented. Like I said this before, and I say this again. I don't like how he portrayed the Latino in North America. When you're in a position of power like his, I understand that he's free, so I don't want to get involved in anything. But he's the most well-paid and hired Latino in North America. He could do something for a lot of Latinos. And I haven't like what was the Eva Longoria, right? She got nominated for a movie based on a Latino. I'm not saying to go like that, but it's kind of hurtful in a point, at least for me being a Latino in the States, being a Latin X or whatever you want to call me. Asshole, you can call me asshole as well, right? It's hard to see how we cannot even go to the streets and claim. We cannot make a march and say we want rights because they just throw ice and 50% of the walk, it will be taken away of the country. I'm not kidding. It's hard. I love how the African American are putting themselves together and they support each other for the concept, not the personal disruptions and things that we have in the past. But it's really hard when you see that a Latino is in the top of the iceberg, right? He's just there. I mean, he's everything. I don't want to see Reed Richards on a Latino. It hurts deeply, like The Last of Us was him again after he did that bad movie of 1984. So again, I'm not against his talents. I'm not against his development as an actor. I'm not against his preference. I respect that. What I don't respect, if you're in a position of power, if you forgot all the people like Rita Moreno that is always fighting for the actors Latino to have a chance. George Lopez, the same thing. Jennifer Lopez, the same thing. I'm not asking him to open a foundation to help artists. I'm not saying that. But at least, dude, come on, dude, right? Do something. So in my book, I don't like him because of that. And he's not Reed Richards. Fuck the shit. He's not Reed. What? His name is not Pedro Gomez. It's Reed Richards. How hard that could be, man. Find an American.
Well, they already did. His name was John Krasinski, and everybody wanted that in the first place.
I like
Yeah.
him.
I know, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. Like, what? You
why you
had
don't
it.
keep the same
Just do
alignment?
that.
Yes. I mean, those Fantastic Fours, yeah, the story was bad, but they were good. I mean, remember the guy from The Shield? What is his name? That was a great thing. Now, the one that is doing it right now, he's really
Michael
good
Chiklis.
actor. Michael Chiklis, yeah. The one that is doing right now is the guy from the Bear that you didn't finish, Jake. That I think
Nope.
is a really good show. Uh, maybe because I eat more than you, right? But Sue Richards and you guys remember when Michael B. Jordan was Johnny Storm? This is as bad as a Latino being Reed Richards. And I'm not gonna stop complaining.
Are
I
you
will
saying a
never
black
be
man?
able.
Are you saying a black man can't play the Human Torch?
I'm gonna tell you something. Do you think that I can play Apollo Creed's son? No, I'm not black. Johnny
Maybe. Oh
Storm
no way.
is
Yeah.
not black. Dude,
Oh.
it's simple.
Well,
It's
hey,
simple
hey,
as
hey,
that.
hey, hey, hey.
So if
Now
I do Macbeth,
you don't know what Adonis Creed. I don't know why I lapsed into Trump there for a minute. You don't know what Adonis Creed did before he met his deaf wife. She couldn't hear. You don't know what happened.
I know. I know, but
It's
there's
just
things that you
literally
need to respect, man.
wow. That's
Imagine
bad.
that Kylo Ren suddenly is black or Latino.
Again, you're assuming that Han Solo didn't get no intergalactic strange.
Yeah, but he got a son with Leia, and quite
I
made
know. All I'm
quite.
saying that is if Kylo Ren had blue or red skin, you wouldn't think twice about it. To be like, oh Han, you rascal.
That well, if Han get pregnant Leia and the kid is red, I'll be really mad. And I will go to Leah and say, "What the fuck, dude? It sounds like a Family Guy episode." And then the
It
red
must
guy
just
in the
be.
back is like, "Your kid looks good."
I must just have some alien blood and
Yeah,
from a
whatever.
long
I
time
got some.
ago.
I got it. He's like, "Sorry, I must have some alien DNA." I mean, I bet you had, bitch.
I'm 1,245th fucking Twi'lek or some shit. I used to
But
call
my
my
point
Nana
is,
tentacle.
there's there's things that you can do, bro. And I understand that everybody deserves a chance, and I get it. But I will never be, or I will never be in a movie pretending to be a Jackson 5. Imagine, my name is Tino. My name is Michael. You know
Oh, you
what?
could play Tito.
You know, look. Anyway, so I'm just saying I'm gonna go into the racial thing. That's my perception. I'm not happy that Reed Richards is Latino, regardless of the actor.
But what about Reed Ricardo?
If it's Ricky Ricardo, you're not gonna pay
No,
imagine
not Ricky Rico.
Rico Ricardo. You know what? That is like if you're gonna play Ricky Ricardo and we're gonna make a I Love Lucy remake, you're not gonna put a Chinese being Ricky Ricardo. You can't. I mean, you could,
I
you
think that's
might, but you
incredibly
can't.
close-minded of you.
Really?
How do you know that some poor, you know, like it's the Bruce Lee story? You know, Bruce Lee was born an American citizen, right? So that's how he was able to come to this country so easily.
Yeah.
And you're
Do
just
you want? Let's make a
assuming,
movie. Let's
you're
make a
just
movie of
assuming.
Bruce Lee, and I'm gonna be the lead. Alexander can be the lead actor. He's gonna play Bruce Lee. That doesn't work. He's a
I know, I'm just being an
Mexican.
asshole.
I know Jewish. What is your thing? Your creation, or what is your shit, Alexander?
I'm,
Poland, Polish, Mexican. Yeah,
I guess, Ukrainian descent.
Ukrainian. There you go. Oh
Yeah.
shit! Really? You're in war with us? Get the fuck out of the place!
I didn't know you were Russian.
Let's go, Putin. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Just being an ass. So,
That's
you know
that
what
terror
a
tag was
sequel is really
wild though.
good? You know, we're so selfish in America that they've been stealing war and we just forgot about it.
Maybe you did. I didn't. But I talk about
Oh,
politics at least once a week, so.
yeah, I'm talking about the general,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Population. You have a podcast of politics. It will be really bad. But now that we're talking politics, what about DeSantis blocking?
I'm not sure how I feel about that yet because I don't me personally as kind of a blanket statement, I don't like the word ban. I don't
Before you go, can you tell the people what he said? So the
so
audience, can
he's
you tell them?
if I understand it correctly, he signed into law he signed a law that
It's
makes
called a
it
bill.
well I know but he signed it so it's a law now. Um that prohibits people in Florida from under the age of 14 from having social media accounts. And if you're, what was it, 14 to 15, you can get one, but with a parent's permission.
Before 14. That's what it is.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't read the bill or the law rather. And they're sparse with details. I'm sure that there's other stuff in there that's a little bit more clarifying, but on the surface, so my first thought was I don't like bans, but then my second thought was most social media platforms already have in place rules that you're not allowed to have a profile if you're under the age of 13 normally. So but as we're all well aware, that's obviously circumvented very easily. So my question, because again, this goes back to the whole don't say gay bill that was also in Florida that never fucking said that. So now I'm wondering if maybe all this did was raised the age by 1 year in Florida at least, which I don't know how this is really enforceable, but let's assume it is. So raised it by 1 year and probably just stiffen penalties for social media companies not adhering to their own standard that they set. I don't know.
I'm gonna say something about that. I think that actually is a good in concept.
But
Let me finish.
I
Let me
agree. I
finish. But
agree.
sadly, in concept is good. But sadly, they forgot about two things: that the scientists love the attention, and second, you know that they forgot to put in the law TikTok, right? So this is just for Facebook. Seriously, that's what I read. For Facebook, Instagram, or any social media, but not TikTok. So then I'm wondering, did they know something that we don't know about TikTok? Because it's been said that it's gonna get banned every 6 months, right? Every 6 months we have a warning that it's gonna get banned. And why, if it's the so influential situation with TikTok and all the people that have died and all the people that's been abused and blah 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 and all the Congress going crazy against TikTok privacy settings, why it's not in that law? Why? We don't want to put in an American law a Chinese company? So DeSantis is bullshitting us again?
It's not a Chinese company, first of all. And the other thing too, DeSantis signed this, the Florida state legislature drafted it and passed it on their end. So it's not like he's alone, which is another thing. Like DeSantis got virtually all the flack for the parental rights and education bill. He didn't even draft the damn thing. He just signed it into law. Now, granted, he championed it, he supported it. That's
Sorry, I'm
racist.
making a. This is racist.
Yeah.
I'm sponsored by Red Arrow. That's the name. Sorry,
Don't you
Arrowhead.
don't you know that Native Americans were the only people ever to use bows and arrows?
Yeah.
That's extremely racist. Never
I don't
mind the
know. I
fact
mean,
that the
well,
bow and arrow was used all over the fucking world.
Yeah,
world.
Independently,
So
I might
cultural
add.
appropriation.
yeah,
Yeah,
but man, you know that is funny. People keep complaining about cultural appropriation when it's not until 2024 that the concept cultural advisor is in Hollywood. Before that, they speak Spanish with the ass. El ganso con la rellonera. Remember that? It's actually supposed to see el menso, but they say el ganso. Like every movie, they try to speak Spanish and they do really bad Spanish, right, Alexander? Or
Yeah,
really
they
bad,
always get it wrong.
or really
Yeah.
bad everything that is not. So the that's not even it's badly applied cultural appropriation. What is worse than trying to steal something is to do it wrong.
first they appropriate it and then they suck at it.
Yeah.
But let's get back to topic. What other movies, guys? That is not Star Wars. That is not Marvel movies. I got a question for you. You guys watched Captain America, the one from 1982?
Mm, I'm aware of
Did
it,
you
but I
watch
didn't
that,
see it.
Alexander?
It's not from 1982 though. Are you
What?
talking about the Matt Salinger one?
Yeah, yeah. That's 82, right? Or 48?
No, that's more likely 1990 or something like that.
Really? I never
Yeah, yeah,
thought they'd reach the 90s. Wow.
yeah. It's
No,
not
did you
at all.
like it?
I
I'm
didn't
not
watch
asking you
it.
if you like it now. I'm asking you when you watch it, you love it?
Uh,
Nah,
I
just
never did.
Justin from Spur of the Moment. Are you talking about the one where he steals a car?
Wait, what, the movie?
Yeah, the Captain America
Ah,
movie.
fuck, I don't remember, Justin. Sorry, it just came to my mind. So I remember watching that and the Spider-Man one, and I was a kid and I loved them, dude. I hated the freaking Mexican mechanic from coming from the spider web. But it was exciting to watch it back in the day, and then goes to my original question.
Hmm.
What makes a movie bad? The bad execution. I know you were gonna say the same again. Our perception of the time, because we can go back and watch many movies and believe that they're wrong, but we're talking about a different market, a different explanation, a different everything. Have you guys watched? Have you ever guys watched F is for Family of Bourne, the animation cartoon? They make such a good adaptation of how the life was in the 60s and 70s. He comes back to Vietnam, get the girlfriend pregnant, they get married, and it's the evolution of his kids. right? And the way that he works. He's a real Jeff Bourne. That's the name of the comedian. Jeff Bourne. Really funny. Face like the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins.
So anyway, Virus, you mentioned at the beginning you saw Ghostbusters. How'd that go?
Ah. Anyway, try to watch F for Family. It's a really good show. Ghostbusters. I'm
Was
gonna
it
say something.
worse? Was it worse than the all-female adaptation of Ghostbusters?
I will prefer to watch that again than watch this new one again.
Really?
Hey, Alexander is my witness. We hate it.
Hey,
I'm just gonna ask you
at least
something.
Chris Hemsworth
If
was
it's
funny
something
in that one.
strange, if it's something strange in the neighborhood, Jake, who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Come on, it's your turn, Alexander. It's something weird.
Oh, apparently
And
Bill
I
Burr
know.
does F is for Family.
Billboard. That I couldn't remember what's Jeff for Bill. Billboard. Thank you. He looks
oh
like the
yeah,
guy from the Smashing Pumpkins, right? He really looked like him.
Yeah, he
He re-
does.
Dude, he does. He does. They could be
They
brothers.
could be
Anyway,
family.
there will be F as families fuck, by the way, people. So anyway, the movies. I'm gonna let Alexander. That's what I invite him. Please, the floor is yours. What do you think about the movie? Go ahead.
yeah. It's really bad. I have to say it's really bad. I didn't really I didn't enjoy it. I think it was slow at times. I think it was really boring. I think I mean you're watching these kids like they're geniuses or something. Like they're using equipment that they shouldn't be able to. Like they're pros at it. And the thing is that these new characters are written in a way where they're so much better than the old people. You know, like all the other old guys in the movie, they're like stupid, like bumbling idiots. Like they don't know what they're doing, and all the kids are like these super professional. Like they know how to use everything, and they're never wrong. And you know that's not good writing. That's not relatable to anybody.
It's
Like I don't want
unfortunately
to.
typical, but yeah.
Yeah, because they want to
Yeah.
push this agenda about how uh, the newer generations are just better than the old ones. You know, like I think that modern people in this day and age, they have this latent idea in their brains that people in the past were just stupid, or like they didn't know what they were doing, and like we're so smart now, and that's just not true at all.
I mean, I think the message ought to be, so taking this movie as an example, and granted I haven't seen it, but I'm getting the gist. So like you said, these new characters are younger than the original cast was when they invented all this crap. So they would reach a point through mentorship and the fact that they don't have to learn everything from scratch. They would eventually reach a point where they probably were better than the originals, but not now. And it would
Right.
come after years of mentorship and mastery and new discovery, because what happens after you master something, you go beyond, you start, but you're standing on the shoulders of those who came before you, right? So it's a good long-term theme, but like you said, they're trying to get there too quickly.
Like porn.
Exactly
Like
like porn.
no, but the point here in the movie exactly is that when Ego, I don't remember the name of the originals ones, right? They became Ghostbusters. They're between 30 and 35 years old,
Yeah.
and now the Ghostbusters is the granddaughter that is the granddaughter that she's 15. That she's a genius. Okay, I give you that. She's a genius. But then the brother that is not a genius, he's he's using drones and capturing the ghosts. And I understand if you see it from your point of view, somebody teach them how to be. And that's cool. But when they start innovating over the guys that they have the whole development, it's become stupid. What was the name of the black guy of the Ghostbusters, the character?
Winston.
Winston, thank you, Alexander. Winston now suddenly he's a millionaire with a suddenly that is like Bruce Wayne that he bought the aquarium where he got a specialist testing about ghosts. And the guy that is running everything, he's like 22, bro.
Yeah.
And the woman that helps him is like 21. There's a scene in the movie that is so stupidly badly written that they say, go to the roof and tell me what you're watching. And she's like, super equipment, right? It's a tricycle without nobody. Okay, get down here. What? That's the scene.
Right.
She went up to saw something and get back. Now there's a awful, and this is a spoilers alert because I don't want you to waste your money, people. I feel like Jerry Springer in a second. I don't want you to waste your money. There's an edit mistake that hopefully but hopefully I'm making a mistake. But she needs copper for a reason. So she got some cuts, the pole where everybody jumps. She cuts it. You can see how she's cutting in a close up. The next scene, the evil guy opens and the pole is complete. The whole last, correct me if I'm wrong, Alexander, but the whole last battle happened in that space and the fucking pole is complete.
Yeah,
How the
that's
fuck
bad
are
editing.
doing? Yeah, but dude, it's not like they escaped. How the fuck are you making an $80 million movie and you didn't correct that with a? It was.
I was gonna say even if you okay they made a mistake in you know, or maybe they filmed that out of sequence, whatever, but like you have completely computer generated characters and you're telling me you can't remove it digitally, like that just tells me that nobody cared or nobody noticed, which means
Right.
nobody cared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, nobody noticed in that kind of movie. Now, maybe I'm making a mistake, and she cut the copper from another pole from another place of the. But no, because they make a previous joke when the guy's the master of fire. Uh, he's like, "Can I use the pole? Can I use the pole?" Dude, but anyway,
Yeah.
I think the movie's
Justin's oh,
playing.
go ahead.
Dude, I really think I was excited to watch it. And I always go to the movie hoping to I have an argument with you, Jake, or with you, Alexander, saying, "Oh man, it's not that bad." Because I always try to tell you that. But this movie, I fell asleep twice.
Yeah.
I fell, dude. I make a living of watching movies, and I fall asleep twice. And I'm watching the movie at noon on
Ooh.
a Saturday. I'm not tired, bro. I'm good, right? It was a bad movie. It's just Egon is gone. Egon is gone. What is the name of the guy with the back acne and really famous? I forgot his name. Tell
Dan
me the other
Aykroyd,
Ghostbusters. No, the other one.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Sorry, Bill Murray. Sorry. Sorry.
Just an
I'm
icon
just
of cinema.
yeah. Just I knew everything that he's done, but the guy is not funny anymore, and he got two scenes for himself. And one is that he goes and open, like an electric dog thing, and it's a whiskey there. Like somebody wants some Baylor and drink.
Justin's got another hot take. The only good Ghostbusters is the first Ghostbusters because, as far as that movie's concerned, the Ghostbusters are basically just glorified exterminators.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Hey,
I don't know how
Justin,
hot of a take that is. Actually, I think that's a pretty solid one.
it's a solid one. Yeah. I don't know, man. I didn't
Well, because
like this one.
that's the humor of the first one, though. That's the joke.
It's supposed to be a comedy, and now it's not a comedy. Now it's a half action, half comedy. It's
You know,
a
well, in
lame.
the trailer doesn't even attempt comedy. Because when it, like, the first time I saw that trailer in the Beach Church reason, I'm like, what is this movie? And then when I
Yeah.
see the Ghostbusters, I'm like, the fuck?
I mean, Alexander didn't like the previous one, not the women, the alternative thing. The previous one, he didn't like it. I like it better, right? And we have this. I don't remember a movie with Paul Rudd that I don't like the character. I really like the guy. I mean, the guy he even looks old in this one, and they've been preaching about how he never grows old, and he looks old in
Well,
this one. His
it
jokes are
happens to
dad
everybody.
jokes. No, but his jokes are dad jokes. I don't know, man. It's lame.
Yeah, it's a bad script. I mean, it's just. I mean, there's actors like Paul Rudd who can take a bad script and make like an acceptable performance out of it because they're just that good.
Yeah,
But
like Knocked Up.
right,
Okay,
like they
and
have
that
this
yeah.
charisma to them
Yeah,
where they
I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I like Knocked Up, but everything that you love about that movie was made up by the actors on the spot, guaranteed.
right, right.
And they tried to do the same here, but the actors didn't deliver, bro. Bill Murray
Ironically,
is not funny, and Dan
ironically
Aykroyd
because the
haven't been funny
younger
for 25 years.
yeah, ironically because the younger actors lack experience and they're in the same room with comedic legends, and the comedic legends, of course, can't upstage the new cast, right?
Because it's not their job. Like their job is to do the opposite. It's just like to elevate the new characters into like almost an unbelievable,
Virus
you know.
Quest.
Actually, you know
Virus
what?
Quest
Ask
moment.
Justin. Ask Justin.
Yeah,
He's in
Justin,
here.
you're gonna have the prem. Are you ready? What move is this? Do less. No. Do less. All right, man. You're getting it. No, do less. Come on. Justin, do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Hey, it was for Justin.
We all
Although
know
he did
that.
say, Justin said, I hated the ending of the last one. It was super creepy, way too real looking for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fun fact. This isn't a sequel, but okay. So I randomly I went on a date, and it was literally the only movie that was playing when we could meet up.
Well,
I
hold on
was
a second. Are you
shocked.
bragging that you went on a date?
No. It's important to the story because it's the reason I saw this movie. I would not have gone to see this movie otherwise. It's the new Mark Wahlberg one, the Arthur the King.
Oh, dude, it's about a fucking dog that runs across the country. Don't tell me it's good, bro.
It's actually like okay, it's not Oscar bait, but it's surprisingly good for
Yeah,
what
I'm
it
petting Aussie.
for what it is. It's I was pleasantly surprised. But of course,
I
it's
love
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
You
I
know
know
it's Mark
I love
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, but he's.
Hey,
I
Shang-Chi was
understand
in it too.
that he's religious, and I'm grateful that he's doing so much for the Catholic religion. That is not mine, but he's doing that. He has an app now that so people can help each other.
Yeah.
I understand, but he needs to, for my own sake, not for society. This is my own personal opinion. He needs to step out of being the fucking savior and give us a good action movie because he's fucking awesome, dude. I haven't seen a good movie or Mark Wahlberg in a long time. He gave us The Lone Ranger. He gave us even a second lead in Transformers. He wasn't good, but he was solid in his parts. Rockstar, fucking epic movie. But tell me when was the last time that we saw Mark Wahlberg not being a dad and just like he belonged to the MCU. He could be fucking Reed Richards. I'm having a stroke right now.
I'm just
I'm having a
imagining
stroke.
that. It's like, what do you mean it's fucking radiation? Well, what do you mean we'll just fly through it? We can't do that, Reed. Why not?
We have to
What
Why
it's
not?
get to the rocket. Let's get to the
all we
rocket.
gotta do is get up into the rocket and go. What do you think?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? We gotta find a fucking talking bear?
We wake up at 4:30 in the morning, then we go work out, then we do some push-ups, then we go to the rocket. We got to the
No, man,
rocket.
you are a fucking rock now.
Anyway, I miss Mark Wahlberg to be the lead action man. You guys are amazing, by the way. Um, but that was really good. That was a good moment. Um, but I miss that from Mark Wahlberg. I don't want to keep seeing him as a dad. You know.
I mean, he does do it well, but yeah, you're right. I would like to see a Mark Wahlberg action movie again. Well, because he's still got it, but I mean, what is
But
he?
he
He's
did the
pushing it.
father once. The father one the father that went to cold trial and whatever. He did this one with the dog. Before that, what he did?
Oh God, I mean, he did a lot, but he did that movie where he was a foster dad.
The comedy that he's
That's
another dad.
really funny. That is home. That's a really funny
But yeah, it's
movie.
funny.
Oh,
But you
I
know
love
what?
those.
Yeah,
Suddenly, in a weird world, The Rock became the action guy, and Mark Wahlberg became the dad. And I
To
don't
be
know
fair,
how
I
that
mean,
happened.
The Rock has played the dad too.
Before, that's what I'm saying. The dad became the hero. The hero became the dad. I mean,
That's
everybody
not
loves
really
Mark Wahlberg.
surprising. I mean, look at Dwayne Johnson. I
He's
mean,
solid as a rock,
he's
right?
roided to the gills.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like I like him. Now I gotta share something with you guys. Who is my who is my only enemy? The only person I hate to talk about in the entertainment,
Bad Bunny.
besides Lin Manuel and beside Bad Bunny. Come on, another one.
Jesus, Pedro. Well, we already eliminated Pedro Pascal.
Okay, the other one. Come on, you're not helping.
I'm
Chalamet.
not trying to.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah,
Timothy.
little Timmy.
Little Timmy, actually, he might have the opportunity to fall into my graces, and I will respect him. He
Did you finally
announced
watch
to
Dune
be the
2?
next, no, in the biopic. Nah, fuck. In his next movie, he's Bob Dylan in the biopic. Ooh, and when you see him characterized like Bob Dylan, actually in that moment I go like, okay, now I'm gonna be able to respect you as an actor because you're getting out of your limits to play something that is not the pretty boy that poses like this. So now he's gonna be Bob Dylan. I think that that could be really good for his career.
So, but speaking of, to bring it back to sequels, have you watched Dune 2 yet?
Yeah, yeah. The connection. What? This is what? What?
What?
You're
Dune.
bro. I try again, man. I really try,
Oh,
but every time I see that motherfucker going, I just can't. I just can't. I'll push myself to do it.
I mean, if it's, I'll put it to you this way: if it's not your, because I will
but I
digress.
haven't saw the first one.
Well, what I was gonna say, Dune is, as someone who within the last couple of years got introduced to this, because I always, like I said in our Dune episode, I always had a passing knowledge of Dune, but I didn't know what it was. I knew it was sci-fi. That was the extent. But as somebody who got introduced to it, even when I was watching it and loving it, I'm like, this is a very, very acquired taste.
Keep
So
talking about Dune. I'm good with it.
I'm curious, Alexander, how do you feel about the Dune? Because it's a remake as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet, but I think it was good. It's just at the time I remember thinking that this is a movie that you have to watch like the whole two parts like, for it to make sense at all, because there's just so many things that they're gonna leave hanging until they resolve them.
Yep.
But
Because I told Virus this when we were discussing Dune. I said when I watched the first one, I was like I was loving it, but I was like, I mean, we've been here for I didn't know it was going to end on a cliffhanger like that. I'm like, we've been here for a while and this doesn't seem to be wrapping up. And then they like sprint through the last I'd say they sprint through the last like quarter of the movie. And then they just end it and I went, "Ah, fuck." But I'm like, "Ah, well, now I'm going to be waiting for part 2 because I definitely want to see what's going to happen." And for me, it all kind of came together at the end when he killed Janice.
I took the headphone. It's okay.
Okay,
Keep going.
because yeah, when he killed Janice, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, he's not necessarily seeing the future, so his visions are unreliable. So I'm like, okay, well now I have no idea what's going to happen. But then they start out part 2, not to
And then
spoil it.
you're
They
back
start out part 2 with a
again.
prophecy, and part
Da,
2
da,
is
da, da.
all about the prophecy being fulfilled. But the prophecy is going to be fulfilled because it's not spoiling, but you're basically it's very interesting how they do it because you don't know
all right,
exactly what's going to happen, but you know what the prophecy is. So it does a really cool thing with the religion that I like because simultaneously criticizes religion, but also is like, well, I mean, it is the prophecy. And there's some stuff that happens, and it's very subtle because a lot of people are talking about
Yeah, you
Dune
gotta
2 as
spoil.
no. There, a lot of people are talking about Dune 2 only being a critique of religion, but there are moments, which I won't spoil for anyone, but there are moments where, at least if you're paying attention, you're like, well, I don't know how they could have necessarily predicted that if it weren't at least somewhat divinely inspired, which, I mean, the
The
Bene
only
Gesserit.
the only thing that gets me trying to watch it is because you say it's a new perspective of the New Testament, and I found that
Oh, it
interesting.
absolutely is, yeah.
However, I try, bro, but every time I see
Well,
fun,
okay. I wouldn't say it's to me, it really seems more like a revision of like Jewish messianic ideas, not so much the New Testament, although the New Testament is just kind of like a new version of Jewish messianic ideas, but it's a whole it's interesting to watch, I'll put it that
Speaking about
so
sequels, right?
way. What?
The New Testament. We're talking about sweet sequels. That's like the best known
that's the
sequel of all
biggest
time.
sequel ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
that's
most
funny. That's
influential
that's
sequel ever written.
yeah,
so. What other movies, guys? I know
Jesus
what
Christ
sequel
Superstar
was.
2 Encore.
You
yeah.
know what a movie is probably, and we all gonna agree that is the best sequel ever. Back to the Future 2.
It's pretty good.
And not
It's
the
the
best
best,
sequel
dude.
ever. It's good. It's good. Back to the Future Part 1 is the best one.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
better
but the
than the
second
first
is
one,
good, and the
but
Oh,
it's
third is
okay.
really
not
I'm
good.
sorry.
bad.
I'm sorry. You mean the best sequel? I got you.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
really
The
really
best
good
sequel.
because they
Yeah, the best
revisited the
sequel.
yeah.
original. Yeah,
That
it's really good
DeLorean
how they
flew
did.
right over my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Although, okay, probably underappreciated sequel, Back to the Future Part 3. It's not better than
Yeah,
2, but it is
yeah,
unjustly
but
shit
it's
on.
good.
Yeah, it's very good. And actually, if you look at it from
it
the
is.
perspective of Marty and Doc's relationship, which is really what it's all about,
Yeah.
there's a Back to the Future Part 3 flips the dynamic a bit.
Yeah,
And when you understand what you're watching, because when I was a kid, I hated the third one because I was like, ugh, westerns. And now I'm
Really?
like, yeah, I did
yeah,
not like. Well, I didn't hate it. I did not like it. I always like Back to the Future Part 2 because of the hoverboard and seeing the future and all that. But then
Yeah, the
2015 came, and I'm
hoverboard
like,
was perfect for every kid. Yeah.
yeah. But now as an adult, it's not my favorite. But Back to the Future Part 3, I'm like, nah, this movie's pretty good.
It's
yeah.
pretty solid. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, guys. It's been extremely pressure of the fans putting Robert Downey Jr. our doc at the dock. I know. Wait, I'm putting our little Spider-Man as Marty McFly. There's a lot
Okay.
of pressure because hold a second, and I know the creators that I mean Robert Zemeckis is a god for me, right? Is God for me. If I get the chance to work once making a coffee together, I'll be happy, right? Forget about a movie. But Robert Zemeckis says, no, we're never going to have for. But back in the day, as director and writer, you make millions. This movie, Back to the Future 4, could make billions. And that's something to consider, man. Now, if I want to see Tommy, what is the name of the guy? Tom Holland.
Tom Holland,
Tom
yeah.
Holland as Marty. If I want to see Robert Downey Jr. as Doc, that doesn't bother me at all.
I was gonna say if you're gonna do it, and if you're gonna remake it, not Back to the Future Part 4, if you're gonna remake and start the franchise over, I think those are the two to do it. If you're gonna do it today, because in
You're
20
right.
in 10 20
Not
years,
number four, like totally
yeah,
remake.
yeah, because
Now,
in 10 20
you
years there
saw
might be even better. Yeah.
for the fans that they haven't been here for a long time, Jake recommend us a new idea that somebody wrote that when I saw it, I was like, I was walking Aussie and I was like, what, enjoying it like an audiobook. And I was thrilled about it. I don't remember. You can guide us again for the people I put on the underneath. But a fan wrote a version that was supposed to be the right, you know, Back to the Future 4 when we find a time diverge that create an evil doctor. So and the doctor goes back in time, and now they're all happen in the 30s with Al Capone. It's really good, man.
That
Like
actually sounds
really,
pretty good.
I
no, bro,
want.
it's really good.
I'll be honest. I would love to see one of two things happen with that. I would love, 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 love. And actually, fun fact, I know it's possible now if the right people are involved because of one of my recommendations. Um, I would love to see one of two things. I would be totally okay with an animated movie to do this, or at the very least, a novelization, because I want this whole story.
Right.
It's
But I
good,
want
man.
I want
What
Back
is
to
the
the Future
address?
Part 4.
Who?
What's that?
What is the channel of the guy that you saw it?
So the technical name, and Justin says Back to the Future 4 technically exists as a video game. Telltale made it. Yes, and actually they took some
Yeah,
elements from the Telltale game. But I've
for
seen the
the for
Telltale
what we're
game.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen the Telltale game. It's good, but this version is better, I would say. Um, but the Nostalgia Critics old channel, I think it's Channel Awesome on YouTube. But if you search like Back to the Future Part 4
channel
idea,
awesome.
you'll find it.
Keep going. You guys know that I'm on a diet, so I've been drinking this. I finished a gallon of water, so I'll be right back.
I
Just please go.
literally thought it was vinegar when you first brought that jug out. I was like, why?
Really? No, I've been drinking for
I see
two
that now. You
days.
have your racist water. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not racist.
Well,
It's a
not now because you
superhero
drank it all.
from DC movie.
You drank
DC
all
you
their
has an
water, you resource
arrowhead.
stealing
It's
bastard.
a sidekick of a Green Arrow.
Did you go
Arrowhead.
out and kill all the buffalo too?
Of course, Buffalo Tatanka. Tatanka.
I'm glad you
All
got
right.
the reference. Um,
Of course. Just keep going. Keep
but
going.
yeah, so I would, oh my god, I would. And Justin, if you haven't seen this, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll send you a link because it is, oh my god. I have a folder on my Google Drive that I call YouTube Archive that I download stuff from YouTube just in case it ever gets deleted. I still have it, and that was the first thing I downloaded for my archive file. And holy shit, I would love to see that. I would have loved to see it with Marty and Christopher Lloyd because it starts out with an older Marty. I think he's in his 40s. That would have had to have made some years ago though. But God, that would have been so good. And the main point I want to make with that is, as someone who prior to viewing this, I said, leave Back to the Future alone. It is perfect the way it is. I was a purist. After watching that, I'm like, fuck, I want Back to the Future Part 4 now.
Yeah.
Like, I want it real bad. And I suppose they could do it with, I suppose you could. And if they did it, obviously I would want Michael J. Fox likeness. I'd want him to be paid for that. I suppose you could make it live action with digital,
You know what?
altering.
I'm gonna ask you something. I know it's gonna be tough what I'm gonna say, and hopefully I don't get canceled for this. But what if just stay with me? Because I know when I say it, you, Justin, and everyone, you two guys are gonna be like, fuck you, Max. But what if travel in time is what Marty McFly now he has Parkinson? Stay with me. And that's exactly why he needs to go back in time to prevent that he go back in time. That will change the whole dynamic of everything.
It
Just
seems like a Family Guy joke.
yeah, probably it is. Well, it will be a little shaky for sure,
This
but it's
is
just a matter of working.
Oh my god,
I'm
this is
just
horrible. But that seems like a Family Guy cutaway. It's like, Marty, it's your Parkinson's. Something's got to be done about your Parkinson's. Doc, what do you mean I don't have Parkinson's?
it's like, Doug, what do you mean? You saw
Ah,
the
I didn't
episode when
have
he gotta sign the
Parkinson's.
check. The episode when he signs the check. Have you seen that, Alexander?
I love Family Guy, man.
No, man,
That
it's
that
so good.
does
Anyway,
that
but
does
think
seem
about
like a
it. If
Family
you
Guy
were
joke.
traveling in time, that actually gonna generate a lot of problems to you.
Well, that's the point of the proposed Back to the Future Part 4 is it's all about the problems from the previous time travels.
Of course, because you're opening a different timeline. The explanation of how the doctor explains coming back and forward is not real, and they touch that in Flash. The way that Bruce Wayne explained it is way better than the way that he's explaining Back to the Future. Even they make the reference about that. Either way, what time is it? Time flies. What time is it, Jacob boy?
Oh, it's 10 till 10 Eastern time. So
Yeah, so we have 10 minutes. It's time for recommendations.
for the
I
So
have
first time
one.
please.
ever, I have all of mine before the show.
Oh,
Well,
really? I go ahead. Sorry, Alexander. Go ahead.
I have I've been thinking about it. I have like the best remake ever
Okay,
that's
yeah,
ever been
let's do
done.
it.
And
Okay.
I don't know if people know that it's a remake, but it is.
All right.
Scarface.
Ooh. You know
Scarface is
what?
the best remake ever.
The Oracle just came. Give us their knowledge. Yes. Scarface. Yeah, actually, Howard Hughes was the director of the original Scarface.
It was Howard Hawks, actually.
So he
How,
was the producer?
Howard Hughes was the producer, right?
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
with Paul Muni. Played
Wow. Yeah,
Scarface
that's
in
a
that one.
great remake.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's very well written, exceptionally directed by Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma.
Great actors. Al Pacino is probably his most recognizable work ever, outside from like I don't know, Scent of a Woman or something like
Booyah!
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah,
Huh?
everybody loves
Huh?
Scar. It's
Yeah, you know
got
what? It's so
most
iconic.
memorable lines.
What is the your favorite scene?
My favorite scene from Scarface, it's the final one. Like, say hello to my
Right?
little friend. Come get me. Come on me. Come on me.
But what is the line of the Colombian woman that is watching TV and takes the pillow? It's like, "No te muevas, cabroncito."
Yeah,
I can't
the
believe that I
singer
didn't remember till I
or
did
the
the movement.
villain. Yeah.
That scene, that scene for me is the most powerful for the time because the way that the camera goes and to the um
Right. It goes to the car and then it comes back to the
but
stairs.
it goes through the
Yeah.
window and to the wall. That
Right.
movement of the camera is what created a Brian May. No, not Brian May. Brian May, the director, right? Brian May is the guitar player. But and how it goes and how they're chopping and you have all the tension. Yeah, it's a really you got the stuff, I got the money. Where is the stuff? That line, I mean, how many times we joke about that line? Yeah, the Oracle has spoken.
Right.
Bravo.
That's to me that's the best remake ever.
Fuck, we got a lot of recommendations because we're talking about a lot of big movies.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what? There's one sequel that I don't wanna left behind. Now that you mentioned that, Deep Throat 2, Back to College. I think it's something that is important to talk about, right, Jake?
I thought Deep Throat 2 was even deeper.
Yeah, high five for that. Give me a high five, guys. That was good. That was good. Anyway, so
But the working title,
recommendations. I got
yeah, working title Deep Throat 2. Oh!
anyway.
No, that's part 3.
Today, uh, you know that the tagline of Deep Throat 3 could be hard to swallow. Sorry. The recommendations today has okay, he's laughing, he's laughed us off. So look at his color. There you go. There you go. Ready, Ray. Ready, Jake. Today the recommendations has a special personal situation. Is good for my family. Okay, leave the calm out of your mouth. Stop. All right. Get away.
That's
Um,
part 4.
that's part four. No, actually, the part four is do not drop the com. It's an action one. Okay, let's keep moving.
Deep
Um,
Throat 4, wipe your chin.
all right. Let's just. You what?
Deep,
I know I
deep,
did some.
yeah. Oh, here's your Mark Wahlberg thriller movie, Deep Throat 5. They did what? Escape?
We're gonna go. We're gonna go. You're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
What do you
You're
mean
gonna
they were in
suck.
the
You're
hotel?
gonna swallow. It's gonna be
You
great.
mean they
It's
were in
gonna
the
be
fucking
great.
hotel the whole fucking time? Yeah, I saw them in there. They were going crazy.
Get the
What
How
fuck
movie
deep
are
out
you
does
of
it
here.
talking about?
go?
They weren't looking at files, bro. Oh, you
Oh
meant
my
the other
god.
room. Oh yeah, they were looking all over the place in there.
By the way, have you guys seen Ted, the TV series?
No, but I've heard it's actually really good.
Actually, I laugh a lot. Now, he's a little bit slow because he's like Family Guy in real life, but it's funny. There's a lot of jokes that are really worth it to enjoy. Uh, Obviously, it's a pothead, right? So it's really funny. It's a pothead show. I watch it in one day. I enjoy it. I will never watch season two, but it was good. Anyway, recommendations. Before we jump into recommendation, this is a pretty special recommendation for me because when I showed you my book recommendation, this is magical. I'm gonna be serious for a second. For the first time, this podcast is something magical that happened, and I will share the story with you guys. So I will. I need to connect my TV show with my book recommendation. So now that you know, please, what is your movie recommendation of the week?
Well, I messed up. I meant to say this is a recommendation, but I already went into it. So my movie recommendation was the 2021 West Side Story. So I don't need to go into it because I already did. But you should watch it. We already went through Deep Throat. Yeah, now you're just being gratuitous. Now it's no longer about the
Well,
art. Now
when
it's
the product works, you gotta keep doing the same, dude.
yeah. Capitalism.
So, okay, what is your movie recommendation, fan? Whatever you want.
Well, this is a sequel that I really enjoyed watching it a long time ago, but it's really good. It's called The Color of Money with Paul Newman and Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
with Paul Newman and Tom
It's
Cruise.
actually a
Yeah.
sequel from a movie called The Gambler, which also stars Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason
Look,
played a
Jack Leeson.
character.
Wow,
Yeah, he's
you're
fat.
really the fucking oracle,
That's
brother.
a
You are.
Yeah,
solid choice.
if you can watch The Color of Money, it's really really good.
So,
Tom Cruise,
I
love that guy.
love that guy. Is the scene when he dances right with the underwear?
No,
No,
that's risky business.
risky business. Yeah.
No, this is
So,
about the pool player. He's a
yeah, I
billiards
remember.
player.
You're right. So I'm just gonna go with one really good classic that I watched again, and I probably told you that I watched it. No, I haven't done that in my life, and I will watch it again and forever. Okay, I went and watched Goodfellas again because now it's on Netflix.
Oh,
The only thing that that I don't have is HBO Plus. It's the only server that I don't have. So I stopped watching Goodfellas, right? But they say Netflix. So the people that doesn't have HBO Plus, I invite them and they haven't watched Goodfellas. It's a must watch,
yeah,
right? And
it's
at
my
the end,
favorite movie ever.
it will make sense what I recommend Goodfellas. But um, TV series or show or mini series of the week, Jake.
All right, so mine is a sequel series that just dropped recently on Disney Plus, and I was concerned, but after watching the first two episodes, I'm more optimistic. X-Men 97.
Ooh, how is it? I want to watch it.
Okay, so here's the thing. So let me just give some backstory real quick. So for anyone who grew up or was younger in the 90s, is well aware of X-Men the animated series, broke ground, arguably one of the most kick-ass theme songs ever, which they updated the opening theme, but it's essentially the same. There's a couple more characters added because Morph and Bishop are added to the main lineup now. Um, so here's the thing about the animation. I totally understand why they did it the way they did it. So basically they're using computers, but they did it in the old hand-drawn style. Here's the thing. Action scenes look amazing using this technique because they can move in 3 dimensions in ways they couldn't do, obviously, for budgetary reasons and just animation at the time for what they were doing. They just couldn't do it. So the action sequences are amazing. The problem with this animation style is that more mundane stuff, like people talking, it just seems kind of flat for some reason. But fortunately, the bulk of the series thus far has been action or at least a lot of dynamic movement. Like there's actually a really cool scene, Virus, you'll appreciate this, in the first episode where they're trying to locate another mutant that they found and they find him in a club and Jubilee decides to dance with him for a bit because he says one dance and I'll go. But she starts using her powers to make some like I don't know, like a light show.
Lights.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dazzler. Yeah,
it's
Dazzler, that's the
actually.
name.
Oh yeah, yeah. She goes by Dazzler.
So wait, stay there. So were you saying, I'm not gonna get excited, that you know that's the beginning of the club with Emma Frost fan, the Hell's Club, when Kitty Pryde is discovered at the same time with Dazzler.
It's not what they were going for, but I
Ah,
yeah,
I got excited to the point of having a comicasm right now. But keep going.
on the chasm. Um,
It's a
the way it's
comicasm.
animated, it looks really cool. The only complaint I have, honestly, is Magneto's new outfit, which is not gonna lie, kind of fruity.
Yeah. Well,
And
maybe he
there's
likes
a
musicals.
maybe, although yeah, his favorite musical is Yentl. Um, but
Papa, can you hear me?
no,
No.
but so and there's also like even the writing's pretty good because it picks up right where the original series left off. There's this I cannot remember for the life of me. Did they go into like a subplot where Rogue and Magneto knew each other in the other series, or are they just drawing straight from the comics? I cannot remember for the life of me.
No, no, it's in the comics. That is the
I
comic.
know it's in the comics. I'm asking in the original series, did they go into it? Because I cannot remember,
Oh no, you
honestly.
know what? I haven't seen the original series. The thing is, when the original series was happening, we were in Mexico City. So we got like 10 episodes, and then they play again the 10 episodes, and then again. So to be honest with you, when I saw the commercial yesterday, I go like, shit, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first seasons. So how many seasons do we have before this new one? Four, five, six?
Three, I think.
So I need to watch the three,
Yeah.
and then I'm this close to finish How I Met Your Mother. I'm like 4 episodes away, and then that's my new task. Like the whole season of X-Men from, because I really miss that. And you know what? I never been able to watch it in English,
Oh, really?
and I
Yeah, it's on Disney
hated it
Plus,
in
so
Spanish. I hated it in Spanish. Like, bro, I stopped watching because I hated the voices. Because was the same voices that Dragon Ball, was the same voices that Scooby Doo. Was like, dude, hire more people, motherfucker. But anyway, that's a good recommendation. You have one, Alexander?
Does it have to be like a remake or a sequel?
No, no,
Or
no. Do whatever you want. No, I'm not gonna
just
go
like
remix.
anything I've seen? Like I don't really watch series. I like I like movies better. I'm not really
Thundercats?
into. I love the Thundercats, at least the
Yeah,
original
but
one.
they remade it.
Thundercats.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
make
I
a
heard about
remake
that.
one, a Japanese one. The Japanese is totally different, but cool. The other remake is not that good. But go ahead, just whatever. You can recommend
Yeah,
another
whatever.
movie if you want.
I'm trying to think about a series that I liked because I could I could talk about like Rings of Power. Have we talked about Rings of Power?
No, not really. We just say that it sucked.
I think I shit on it
Yeah,
once.
I kept
But I
hoping
like
it
it, to
would
be
get
honest.
better, but it didn't. But, but
If they
yeah,
hadn't, yeah, if they hadn't ignored the Tolkien lore, it could have been very good. It could have been very interesting. But they decided to wipe their ass with the story that had literally been laid out for them in multiple books and this, no, we want Galadriel to be strong.
You
yeah.
know,
Galadriel was strong.
have you guys seen the Wheel of Time in Amazon? It
Mm-mm.
felt like the Wheel of Time is being successful for the first season. Second start going down. That's when the Ring of came out. It looks like it's like, I'm gonna copy those motherfuckers, right? Because that were successful.
Well,
Like,
I think
dude,
they
the
were,
Wheel
yeah,
of Time is a piece of shit. The second season, the first season is but you can see the reference. So like, yeah, like, bro, please give me
I
something new.
felt it felt
But
like
I
to me
mean,
they were, yeah, it felt like to me they were trying to rip off the success of Game of Thrones,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like Tolkien's Middle Earth is not like a political thriller at all. It's much more straightforward, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like there are politics in Middle Earth, but it's not like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
No. So, well, let's see what people think for the next episode of your recommendation. I'm gonna talk about my recommendation, TV series and the book, okay? Because I'm gonna recommend in a way of story here. I was watching. I bought Apple TV again because I wanted to watch this show. Amazingly, Apple, because of the server that we use in the company, they give me a free month, right, of everything, even video games. So I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So I want to pay it, right? But at the end, I decide to pay it, but instead it's free. So I'm in a good mood. So I did it because I want to watch Masters of Air. It's Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, play Tom, that is the company from Steven Spielberg, that you guys might know because I talk about this. Band of Brothers, The Pacific, right? Private Ryan. What is the name of the movie?
Saving
Saving
Private
Private
Ryan.
Ryan. So we're talking about those
Saving
production
Ryan
teams.
Price.
Saving Ryan Private. That's funny. Anyway, but going into that, I knew that it's gonna be a good movie. So they did a documentary, The 100, right? It's a documentary about the flying, the bombardiers, the pilots that they were just bombers. So I got the chance to make a mistake and I put the documentary first, and I learned so much. Some fact that I want to share with you before I go to my recommendation. I know we're running late, but did you know that there were minus 40 degrees in the thing underneath where they were shooting? That's where they were so covered. Minus 40. That's around minus 17 in Celsius, Alexander. So when they have their gloves down or they get shot and they need to open whatever, they frozen. Bro, minus 40 anyway, that really shocked me. And then I didn't realize that the bombardiers, the bombers, if you will, they go like this and they don't go like this. The other hunters are the one, and this goes like this. And you remember the explosions that everybody sees around? Those are like hand grenades full of metal that project everywhere. I didn't know that, right? So I go like, well, they don't. It in my mind is like, well, they're not hitting them; they're exploding. But those explosions make holes this big in the airplanes.
So not to cut you off, but something to add to that. What a lot of people don't know, and I get why they do it in movies, but like when you watch movies like in older, like Civil War, Revolutionary War, Napoleonic Wars, blah blah blah, whatever, and you see the cannonballs, right, and they explode on the ground. Pretty rare, especially once you get to the Civil War. The bulk of those artillery shells actually exploded in the air and fired shot down,
Shut, yeah.
and that is
Wow.
just fucking terrifying.
Right.
Yeah, because it changed the whole dynamic of the fight.
And but you can understand why they wouldn't show it that way in movies, because you just see a bunch of people dropping down for perception, from a perception
The
point, no
same
reason.
here is happening. You see the explosion here and the shape, that's how you call it, the shape, the
Shrapnel. Yep.
Sharpnel.
shrapnel go, and they're like this big because they're pieces of metal that they're not nice, right? So anyway, so Masters of the Earth is about the one squad that is the 100 squad that they lost so many fighters that they call it the 100 because they lost a lot of people. So I'm watching it, and then I'm Googling myself. You know what? And I'm gonna connect it to the book recommendation. So Master of First, Apple TV. You don't know this, Jake. Maybe we talk about it. Alexander know it by heart. I mean, he's been a friend of me and the family for I don't know how many years. So I say how weird it is that nobody has written or make a movie from the Mexican squad, the 201, right? My grandfather fought there, right? So I just went and watching the movie. I opened my phone and I put, there's a movie. No. I mean, it was one really old in Mexico, never go anywhere. I go like, maybe it's because there's never been a book. And I found a book that it was re-edited this year. And I go and click on it. And that's my recommendation. Look at these guys. This is not about just this. The guy here in the cover, that's my grandfather, guys.
Well, that is
That
cool.
is my grandfather. Look at that shit, bro. I was looking for if a movie was made on my grandfather, and he's in the cover or the fucking book. Isn't that something to be proud of? What? So I haven't read it, but I know I'm going to enjoy every word of it because let me repeat it. My grandfather is in the cover. Suck it up, everyone. Deal with that. Yeah? So anyway, the name of the book is 201st Squadron, the Aztec Eagles, the story of the Mexican pilots who fought in the World War II. I think I haven't mentioned this. That's my grandfather. That guy have it there.
Where did they primarily see action?
They were under the General Douglas MacArthur, right? And they were trying to fight the Ron Berlin Tokyo Axis, and they were in the Philippines, I think. They were in
Okay.
the other side. So the most impressive about this is they I don't know if it's in here, but obviously it was just this squad. A few ones. My grandfather was a captain. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's in the cover of the album. I mean of the book. And it's really good to be able to see history from a personal point. I haven't opened it, right? I'm gonna open it right now in front of you guys. And look at the first page. Look at that beauty. I don't know if you can see it.
You gotta put it like in front of yourself.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough.
Yeah.
Is the Nazi flag rescued by being destroyed by the Mexican eagle from the flag. So I think that that's pretty cool, and that's other guys of my grandfather's fellows. I don't know if he's in this picture. It's the first time I opened this.
So
Yeah, actually,
so
he's here.
yeah.
Actually, he's here.
So fun
So
fact for the viewers who may not know, Virus, can you, because well, you are Alexander, because I know, but I presume a lot of Americans don't know, why is there an eagle on the flag of Mexico?
oh yeah, I can do an explanation in 2 nanoseconds because we want to do whatever the fuck we want to do. I'm just kidding. No, do you want to talk about this, Alexander, or you want me to just say it?
It's because of the prophecy the Mexicas had where they were told that they should settle their city where they spotted an eagle devouring a serpent on top of a nopal, on top of
Oh,
a
cactus.
cactus. So that's what that it actually happened according to the story.
Mexico
They,
City is built like that. And actually, I
yeah,
think it was the
in
Aztecs, right,
Texcoco.
Alexander?
Yeah, it was
It
the
wasn't the Aztecs. It was
it
like
was
the
what would
Mexicas,
become. Yeah, it was what would
Mexicas,
but
become.
okay.
yeah, with
They
But
will
who
become the
came
Aztecs.
they came from up north, according to the myth. They came from the north and settled in the south.
was that was the name of the original city Tenochtitlan or something like that, or am I thinking of something different?
No,
Tenochtitlan,
they
Tenochtitlan.
actually
Yeah.
came from Aztlan. That's the name of the city where they came from, where the
where
Mexicas
they
came
came
from.
from, but they built Tenochtitlan over the cactus and the.
Right. It's actually kind of a mystery, like it's like it's a fascinating aspect of Mexican mythology. It's like we don't really know where the Aztecs came from, where the Mexican ancestors came, like called like the Toltecs and the Olmecs. Actually, the
But
Olmecs
let me
is
tell you,
the oldest
after
one.
that happened, we went to the Second World War, and guess who fought on it and returned alive? Have I mentioned that? That was my grandfather, guys.
You did. It's
And you
still
don't
cool,
like
dude.
book when your grandfather is in the cover. One of you. Anyway, so my recommendation of the book is 2001 Squad, The Aztec Eagles, The History of Mexican Pilots Who Fought in World War II by Gustavo Vázquez Lozano. International Award in 2017. Handsome fella.
Hey, who's that on the
Órale.
Anyway,
cover?
my grandfather, bro. Look at that. That's my mom's dad. That actually he returned from the war. He survived the war. Sadly, in another flight, he was the president flight. I mean, pilot, and they got a deadly crash years after, like 10 years after. But he was a war hero in a country don't war heroes doesn't exist, bro. So it was like John Wayne for But anyway, book or weird recommendation because I have a meeting and I love our audience and our podcast. But come on, I need to
Okay.
read this book.
So before I won't take too much time with my weird one, but I have because it's in the thumbnail. Yeah, they made a remake of Roadhouse. I watched it. It's not terrible, but I mean it's
It's not bad, man. I
the
actually enjoy it, and I got fun with
I
it.
that's just it. I enjoyed it. And I think the reason I enjoyed it though is because the first Roadhouse wasn't exactly a cinematic masterpiece. It was fun. And the new
Right.
one is fun too. It's just different. But anyway, so my weird recommendation. So I'm floored by this because I actually mentioned it on one of my other podcasts, but then a couple days ago. Okay, so let me back up. So in Japan, there are a special kind of manga called doujinshi, and what they are is they're basically just fan-made manga. Um, it's very common for independent artists to like make their alternate versions of already created works, and Japan,
Reimagine.
yeah, basically, but it's basically like a showcase. And what will oftentimes happen, in fact, Toyotaro, the current, well, I guess current and only author of Dragon Ball Super now, actually got his start doing dojin or dojinshi. Well, a couple years ago, randomly on the internet, well, not a couple years ago, I think last year, I randomly found on the internet because it's relatively new. I found a dojinshi of an artist who basically the premise of the story is his protagonist dies and is reincarnated as Yamcha from Dragon Ball. But because he knows the Dragon Ball story, he changes what happens, and it's a really fun story. But a couple days ago, I found out that Viz Media and Shonen Jump licensed the story and printed it. This is an
Oh,
Oh, that's pretty
official.
cool.
This is an official, and you even see it. It's like that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha, and dude, he's
nice.
talented. He rips off. Well, he doesn't rip off, but he replicates Toriyama's style to the T, even
That's
changing
awesome,
it,
man.
even changing it as the story goes along. Because like you see Vegeta there, and compare to the end of the book, I can't find a specific page, but he replicates the art style as it goes through time. It's a pretty cool story. I highly recommend because I used to have to tell people find it on the internet. You can buy it on Amazon. It's like $7. Just buy it. It's a cool story, and you're supporting an independent artist. Um, but yeah, it's a wild story. It's a cool one, and you get to it's like a time capsule. You get to see the original Dragon Ball art style because it starts out with Yamcha waking up in the desert, old school Toriyama art, and then by the time you reach the end, it's all the way down to like the Boo Saga art style. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, good. That's
Nice.
a good weird recommendation. Do you have a weird recommendation that comes to mind, Alexander?
I have a recommendation. I don't know if it's weird, but I didn't. We didn't talk about. I wanted to talk about what it means for a movie or a series or a book or whatever media. Uh, we didn't talk about the tone things have. Like when you're writing a story, you have to be you have to set a tone for it. Like either if it's set in the real world or if it's set in a fantastic world. But what I was talking about the Ghostbusters movie thing, where they portray these kids as like super geniuses. I don't think it goes with the tone of the Ghostbusters universe, especially considering that the first movie is about like 30-something-year-old friends that are kind of like scientists, and they try to like come into this world which doesn't really exist, the ghost world. It's not real, but it's the tone of the movie in the tone of the movie works. But if you want to talk about a movie where kids really are something more like more fantastical, there's a movie called Explorers. It's an 80s movie. It's with a very young Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix. It's called Explorers. Just look for it, watch it. It's really funny. I watched it as a kid at the movie theater, and I really liked it. It's with Ethan Hawke, and I don't remember. I think John Landis directed it. I'm not really sure about it, but it's really good, and you can tell it's not a fantasy movie. It's more like a sci-fi movie, but kind of grounded in reality. But just watch it and let me know what you think.
Awesome. I'm just gonna go back to one of the movies that we talk about, the Dungeons and Dragons from Tom Hanks, right? Seek for it. You're probably gonna find it in YouTube. It's extremely old, right? It was done for TV, so it's nothing. It's not gonna be in the stream services, right? I will find it, but I think it's a movie that you gotta see because this was before Big, was before Red the Lady in Dress, or like it's like one of the first or second movie of Tom
I
Hanks.
think it might be his first movie. actually.
Probably his first movie.
Yeah.
But just look after that. What time is it, Jakey boy?
It is 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Perfect. So that's 7:20 for us.
Yep, 7:20.
Thank you,
for us.
Oracle. You are awesome. You're welcome every time you want to be here, man. You
can
put
just
it in
show
our
up.
place with that fucking yeah. You just wait 2 hours to show up saying this is the best remake. You motherfuckers, shut the fuck up. Good job, Oracle. It's like keep dreaming, guys. Right? But thank you for being here, Jakey boy, my brother. Thank you. Thank you so much for making it happen this again. And before we go, we just go in our side and say to everyone, roll them up. See you next week.